Hello, welcome to another German video. This is Herr Daily here. This video is going to discuss the dative case in German. It is the third of the four cases in German. The four cases are the nominative case, the accusative case, the dative case, and the genitive case. The genitive case will be discussed in a later video, and I already have a video up explaining the nominative and accusative case. But to recap, here we go. The nominative case is the subject of a sentence. So if I said I have a ball, who has the ball? I do, because I'm the subject. What do I have? What object do I have? It is the ball. So the ball would be in the accusative case. If I were saying that I gave the ball to Gronya, in that sentence, the nominative case will be myself, because I'm doing the action. What do I have? It's a ball. And to whom am I giving the ball, or giving the object? Gronya. So the logic is that the dative case is the receiver or recipient of an action in any sentence. So likewise, the way you have German nouns, der for masculine, die for feminine, das for neutrum, and die for plural. And we know that in the accusative case, der goes to den, the rest stay the same. For the dative case, der goes to dem, die goes to der, das goes to dem, and die goes to den. Another German teacher informed me of a simple way to remember the dative case line, which is Mr. Man. So you're taking the M off of dem and or from der to Mr. and then dem, D-E-M, the M, and the den for the plural of the dative to make Mr. Man. So for the nominative to accusative, it's der to den, the rest stay the same. And for dative, it's the very good learning tool of Mr. Man. Dem, der, dem, den. So again, likewise for the nominative case, we know that we've eine, ein. Ein going to einen for the accusative. For the dative, ein goes to einem. Eine goes to einer. And ein in the neutrum or das form goes to einem. So you see that there's a regular pattern. Ein to einem, ein to einer, ein to einem. So when you're forming the dative case, if you don't know the gender of the word, you have a strong possibility of using einem, because both masculine and neutrum go to einem. Likewise, if the word ends in e, ei, ie, heit, keit, that there are signifiers that it's a D word, so eine goes to eine. Now looking at the examples again, as I said, the logic is the dative case is the receiver or recipient of an action. The grammar rule in German is that the dative noun comes before the accusative noun. So if you look at the first example, ich backe dem Mann einen Kuchen. That reads, I bake a cake for the man. Or I bake a man or the man a cake. So in the sentence in English, who's the nominative? Who's it about? I. The verb, I'm baking. Okay, what am I baking? What is the accusative? Kuchen, a cake. So that is why Kuchen is a der word. Der goes to den, the rest stay the same. And likewise, ein goes to einen. So in this sentence, we know that the dative noun comes before the accusative noun. To whom are we giving the cake? Who's receiving the cake? The man. So ich backe man einen Kuchen. Man is the der word. So der goes to den. Ein goes to einem. So ich backe dem Mann einen Kuchen. Likewise in the second example. Du schreibst dem Brieffreund einen Brief. You were writing a letter to the pen pal, or to my pen pal, or you're writing your pen pal a letter. You're writing my pen pal a letter. Again, the nominative du, because the sentence is about you. The verb is schreiben, du schreibst. What is the object of a sentence? What is the accusative? What is the thing that the sentence is about? The object. Brief. And likewise, and lastly again, to whom are you sending the letter? Your pen pal. So der goes to them in the dative case, or if you want to say my brief Freund, my pen pal, ein goes to einem, and then to make the possessive form you put mein, meinem, before it. And then likewise, meine, as we'll see in the next example, ich koche meiner Mutter. So again, to go from the table is called the definite article, the ein table is called the indefinite article, and if you want to kind of like make the indefinite article possessive for mine, yours, his, her, you just put on the my, m for mine, d for dein, I for ihr, u for unser, e for euer, which would already be there, but it's a slight changing, don't worry about that, onto the indefinite article. So again, ich koche der Mutter einen Tee. Tee is the object of the sentence. It's der Tee, der to den, the rest stay the same. Who's the recipient of the object? Who's receiving the tea? Your mother. So Mutter is a D word, so D changes to der, or ein changes to einer. And if you want to make it a possessive, you put an M before it. So ich koche meiner Mutter einen Tee. And then the last example, baut dem Sohn ein Modellauto. Modellauto. So das Auto, ein Auto. Who are you building it for? Or for whom are you building the object? Son, der Sohn. Der changed to dem in the dative case. So baut dem Sohn. Or baut seinem Sohn. So if you want to say his son. So baut seinem Sohn einen Modellauto. So baut, he buys, and you have to have a complementary possessive. So sein. So you have the einem, ein to einem, and then you put on the s. So lastly, as you would have seen if you looked at the nominative and accusative video, whereby you have certain prepositions like durch, für, gegen, wieder, entlang, ohne, this, prepositions that make you use the accusative case after the sentence, or after the word in the sentence. You have a number of prepositions that force you to use the dative case after you use these small words. So I haven't them written on the board, but they're as follows. I'll call them out slowly. Aus, AUS, bei, BEI, mit, MIT, nach, NACH, seit, SEIT, von, VON, zu, ZU, so aus, bei, mit, nach, seit, von, zu, gegenüber, GEGEN, U, umlaut, BER. So, like in the nominative and accusative case, or like the accusative case prepositions, these prepositions, aus, bei, mit, nach, seit, von, zu, gegenüber, once you use these prepositions or small words, you must use the dative case to follow it. So for example, if you want to say you were with my mother, you have mit and you have Mutter. Mutter is a D word, D changed to der in the dative case. So we're taking off the ER of the der, DER. And we know my is mine, so mit meiner Mutter. If we were saying with my father, mit something Vater, Vater is a der word, der changed to dem. We're taking off the EM of the DEM, and then we know that mine is mine, and we're putting on mine and the EM mit meinem Vater.